From Long Bin, Cam Bay, Da Nang, Chu Lai, Phu Cat, Dong Tam, and Cu Chi in Vietnam. From Osan, Munsan, and Seoul in Korea. From Midway, Okinawa, and Camp Zama in Japan. From the USS Hancock and the USS New Jersey off Dixie Station in the South China Sea. From Utapao, Nakhon Phanom, and Korat in Thailand. The Bob Hope Christmas Special, starring Anne Margaret, Rosie Greer, Linda Bennett, Miss World, Penny Plummer, Dick Albers, and Les Brown and his band of renown.
Well, if you gotta go, first class is the way. That's the head of the USO, General Rosie O'Donnell, behind the muff. When he's out of uniform, he's really out of uniform. I guess Howard Miller drafted everybody in Los Angeles to see us all. After 5,000 miles of airtime and a fast show at Midway, we arrived at Yokota Air Base in Japan. Among the welcoming party, I found my son Kelly, who's on duty at nearby Sasebo Naval Base. He's in civvies. I hope that doesn't mean he's AWOL. We were all pretty nervous before our first show. It was in a huge gym at Camp Zama. And in the audience were a lot of Vietnam combat casualties brought from hospitals all over Japan. We needn't have worried for a moment. These guys may have been patients, but they were the kind of medicine we needed.
Yes, sir. Our first show, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in Tokyo, Japan. Excuse me if I sound like I got pebbles in my mouth today. Last night they gave me a sake over the rocks, and I think they used real rocks. I love that sake. It's like swallowing shaving lotion using the razor blade for a chaser. I want to tell you, I'm really great with chopsticks. I haven't eaten anything yet, but I've started 3 fires. Winter is the best time to visit Japan, although if you're coming from where you fellas have been, any time will do, huh? You get some wonderful bargains in Tokyo. In one store, they offered me a nice 45-piece tea set for $2.98. I said, how can you sell it so cheap? And the man said, it's imported. Those peasants in New Jersey work for practically nothing.
Now let's head west to Korea. It's a whole new fortune cookie here. Since the Pueblo incident, Korea has made it back to the front page. Our manpower has increased 5 times. Look at this mob scene. 12,000 kids who choppered, trucked, jeeped, and if necessary, walked from as far as 250 miles to make it to our gig at Osan.
Hey, we're thrilled to be here at Osan Air Base, Korea. Osan, that's Korea for take it and stuff it. Now, you guys have an important mission. Somebody's got to protect those cockroaches. I hear the cockroaches are really tough. They think DDT is a new vitamin, huh? Hi, y'all. Look at those cats on the mountain. There's some Red Skelton fans on the mountain. Hey, get that sign out there. Get that sign. Look at the sign. Hey. Look at the sign. Look at the sign. So wild. Yeah. New York City. Okay, get to all the signs so we can get them down and start the show, huh? But it's nice to be here in lovely Korea. Don't stare at me. That line kept me out of the Army. I don't know how close we are to Russia, but one of the medics here is named Zhivago. Our biggest show in Korea was up at RC-1 for Major General Kagwan's famed 2nd Division. They're the MGM Scouts who guard the Incheon River. Their motto is second to none, so let's not keep them waiting in line. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to be here with the 2nd Infantry Division at the DMZ. I had to come. They told me the infiltrators were starved for entertainment. Yes, sir, this is the DMZ. That's an expression meaning you've only got one, so keep it close to the ground. Well, the #1 industry here in Korea is heisting. By the time we landed and taxied in, the plane had changed hands 6 times. I love these guns. If they don't laugh, we fire. That's all. Isn't it great? We ought to have those at NBC in Burbank. But I love Korea. When I landed, a 9-year-old kid tried to sell me a set of luggage. I said, "Where is it?" And he said, "It's still on the plane." I was walking down the street in Seoul yesterday, barefoot. Last thing I remember was paying for the shine. And I caught the bellhop wearing my monogram shirt. He swore his name was Bung Ho. With 19 gals, you gotta have a bouncer. Ours is a guy they really dug. Trampoline artist Dick Albers. Here's just a small part of his act.
This isn't even my act. I'm really one of the musicians here. But anyway, we're all here to have a lot of fun, and I'm going to show you that there's really nothing so difficult about the tambourine. That didn't sound right to me either. But I'm going to start off with the world's highest backward somersault. I hope. I've got to get a job.
Here's a group that entertains our GIs and so. They're from the Songjukwan Orphanage. We wanted you to hear their Korean version of Jingle Bells.
The ships through the snow, you know our nights open sleigh. Why don't we go? Rocking right away. They jump up the ring, making street is bright. How fun it is to ride and sing a sleigh song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-night open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-night open sleigh. They sing through the snow, one-night open sleigh. Don't feel too good, don't feel too good. Right away. Jump back there, making streets bright. It is to ride a open sleigh tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-night open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride a one-night open sleigh.
Our next stop was Okinawa. Judging from the welcome we got on the Rock, they were ready for a show. They really went first cabin. Red carpet, honor guard, color guard, the 29th Army Band, bouquets, leis. They list the population of the island at 15,000. 20,000 showed up for the show. Last 5 rows were sharks.
Sort of a no-hit hack. Oh, well, you can be a hit. How about that? I got to remember that one. I got the most applause. Anyway, I'm happy to be here in Okinawa. Okinawa, that's a Japanese word meaning how do you feel about another Pearl Harbor, Yankee dogs? Hey, by the way, can anyone take a message to the military? What's that? Hey, look at this guy. Let's make it a free fall here, right here. Look. Look at here. There he comes. Wowee! Isn't that beautiful? Is that Captain Gardner? I think he had a lot of kimchi last night. Look at that vapor trail.
That's your replacement, Bob.
Hear that line? That's your replacement, Bob. Isn't that beautiful? If he doesn't land on the stage, he's through. He did the same thing. The same guy did the same thing for us at Cameron Bay. How long ago? Huh? 3 years ago? This was Captain Gardner. I don't know what he is now. He's probably a civilian, isn't he? Isn't that pretty? Come right up here. How are you? Gee, it's great to see you again. How are you? Yeah. Good to be dropping in on you. You're cold again, aren't you?
Yeah, it's chilly.
Even you're just about this way at Cameron Bay, huh?
Yeah, that's right, except I was a little higher there. I had Marines flying me today, and they get nosebleed over 7,000 feet.
Each year when we make these trips, we try to bring you one of the outstanding glamour stars from back home. And this year we hit the jackpot. The young gal you're about to meet is one of the most exciting acts that ever played Las Vegas. She packed him in at the Riviera for 6 weeks, had him standing in the aisles. She also just finished a 1-hour television special just before we left that killed everybody in the ratings. It was just wonderful. Here she is, the real triple threat girl, Miss Ann Margaret, right here.
And the time is so right now for, what's it right for? Dancing in the street. Music, sweet music. Music everywhere now. Singing, swaying, and our records playing, and dancing in the street. Oh, it don't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. Every guy, you just grab your girl, singing, dancing all around the world now. This is an invitation for the nation, dancing in the streets, Philadelphia, PA now, Baltimore and D.C. now. Don't forget Detroit City, woo, Dallas, Houston, Memphis, Boston, Atlanta, Denver, Frisco, talking about LA. One of the race, baby, let's see it stand up. All right. Come on, let's see the Navy stand up. You're looking good here. All right, now let's see the Air Force. It doesn't matter what you wear, just as long as you are there. Now every guy, grab your gun, sing and dancing all around the world. There's gonna be dancing in the street.
On your way to your first show in Vietnam, it is not considered cowardly to cross your fingers, nor do you open any umbrellas in the cockpit. Our first Vietnam show was at Long Binh. At 300 miles out, we blew our number 2 engine. There it is, 30,000 feet up, and the propeller is staring at us. Our C-130 crew feathered the prop, put out the fire, and had the crash crew standing by just in case. For our pilot, Lieutenant Colonel James C. Lamiel, it was routine. As for me, well, I not only crossed my fingers, I braided them. I didn't untie until I took a look at that beautiful audience waiting for us. They say there were 30,000 there. I won't guarantee it. I was still counting when we left. There's our ambassador, Ellsworth Bunker, General James K. Woolnough, commanding general of the Continental Army Command, and General George S. Brown, 7th Air Force Command. We better salute and get to work. Nobody showed up, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Vietnam. Yes, sir. So much for your bombing halt. And today we're at Long Binh, Vietnam's answer to Disneyland. I'd like to thank General Abrams for his wonderful welcome. When I stepped off the plane, he said, "Button that pocket, suck in the belly, and why aren't you wearing a regulation nose?" Yes, Long Binh Japan is the biggest logistical installation in Southeast Asia. 20,000 men all dedicated to one purpose, to get to Bangkok. Vietnam, this is where it's at. It's what's happening, or to put it another way, who needs it? I plan to spend Christmas in the States, but I can't stand violence. I rushed over here. The Pentagon told me if I didn't hurry, the war would be over. I'd hate to be stuck with 19 girls and no war. And no note from my doctor. And I know the bombing halt is really working. I know because we flew over the Ho Chi Minh Trail and nothing was moving. It's the worst traffic jam I ever saw. Of course, you know that back home the elections are over and the birds are flying south. They're migrating back to Texas. No, the voters decided they wanted a change of birds. They said, let's get the lame duck out of the White House. The government needs a goose. And, of course, I wish LBJ all the luck in the world. He's had a rough time, you know. In fact, the other day he went over the Lincoln Memorial and he looked up at Abe and he said, you had a war, you had a civil rights problem, what can I do? And there was a pause and finally a voice said, don't go to the theater. At the end of our 2.5-hour show, our landlord, General Abrams, presented every member of the cast and crew with a plaque and had a few kind words to say.
Bob, this has been a great show. I want to tell you, every member of your cast, the orchestra, the technicians, I want to tell you thank you from every man and woman in the United States Command. This short time here this afternoon has been pure I am aware, God bless them, of those who were here all night. But it's been an afternoon of pure American. We're all troopers, and we look on you as the same breed. Thanks a lot.
For some reason, every time we get near Cu Chi, there's action. Last year, they held us at the end of the runway till they flushed out some snipers. This year, they wouldn't let us travel except in flights of 3, on the theory that if they get one of us, there'd be 2 of us to get them. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at Cu Chi by the sea. By the VC. Headquarters of the 25th Infantry from Hawaii, and they don't let you forget it either, I'll tell you. It's the only base in Vietnam where the dogs wear grass skirts. Their flag is a cobra rampant on a field of pineapples. Don't mind me, I got up this morning and found a mosquito flying away with my malaria pills. Last year, as we left the strip in our C-130 here, they fired at us from the end of the runway. And the MPs flushed out 3 Kong and 2 critics. And I didn't mind the trip coming over here, but the shots are murder. I've had so many shots that when I go to see a doctor, I back into his office. It's my best side. I've been jabbed in so many places and nobody will stand next to me in the washroom. The Hong Kong flu is currently sweeping the United States. Isn't that great? You're stuck here and the germs get back to the States. And Margaret had a little touch of the flu. I get the feeling that some germs really know where it's at. Here we were greeted by Admiral James S. McCain, super boss of the entire Pacific. His son, Lieutenant Commander James S. McCain III, a naval flyer, was shot down over Hanoi and is now a North Vietnamese prisoner of war. Everybody pays in this conflict. When we first went to Chu Lai, it was just a small beach, 2 platoons and a bottle of suntan lotion. Now it's a khaki Florida. Fellas here sound ready, willing, and eager. I better bring out Miss World before I get stoned. Here's a local girl, well, about as local as any girl gets here. She's from Australia. A 19-year-old librarian who has everything neatly stacked in place. This year's winner of the Miss World contest in London, Miss Penny Plummer, right here. This is the first plumber I've ever seen that brought everything along. All right, soldier, you better light a cigarette. You're smoking. So you're Miss World, huh?
That's right, Mr. Hope.
Why are we trying to get to the moon when the world looks like this? I can see why you're Miss World. You're charming, you have a beautiful face, and a lovely figure.
Oh, please, Bob. You'll give me a swelled head.
Well, we like to keep things symmetrical. Tell me. Big mouth. Tell me, Penny, how did you get to be Miss World?
Well, they had an election, and I won.
Oh, I could kill myself. I voted for Nixon. How old are you, Penny?
19.
19. I've got golf balls older than that. Would you believe I'm twice your age? 3 times? I think I'm getting an Excedrin headache. Just for the record, what are your statistics? I can't say that when I think about it.
Oh, a soldier's really interested in that.
Oh, you see, they may send out patrols and they'll need to know what they're up against. I hear you want to be a teacher, is that right?
That's right.
I can't think of a better way to end dropouts.
I understand school teachers in America do very well.
Yes, they do. The survivors get free hospital care.
And is it true that American servicemen are provided with a fine education?
Yes, and never better than right now. That's Miss World right there. How about that, fellas? You don't have to advertise in the theater section of the Cameron Bay Shopping News to get a crowd up here. We weren't due to start the show until 9 p.m., long after dark, but look at this crowd that's waiting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And they told us that some of them had been there over 24 hours. I wouldn't wait that long to see me.
Hi, y'all. I want to tell you, we're just thrilled to be here in Cameron Bay, the world's biggest sand trap. Yeah. I met your CO. It's the first time I've seen a 3-star camel. I hear you work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Man, you guys must... Man, all I want to say is you must be loaded with all that overtime, huh? And they tell me this is the biggest supply depot in the world. They have more spare parts than Crosby's doctor. I want to just say that we are just thrilled to be here in this beautiful, cool spot. And I want to ask something. Can anyone take a message to the Military Airlift Command? The outfit that furnished our plane. Will you tell them we made it anyway? No, they gave us a beautiful plane, a 141. That was the year it was built. I didn't really get nervous till I saw the engineer out on the wing with a coal shovel stoking. During the show, there were a few hints of rain, but it wasn't until the mayor of Cameron and his wife came up on stage that it really hit. And it was such a waste. With the bathhouses, the band didn't really need it. Get hat. Watch this. Nothing gets saved but Anne Margaret's fur. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you. Thank you. And before we go down for the third time, I just want to thank you very much, Mayor. Gellenheiser, thank you very much. We're not going to let this little shower bother us, are we? Where's Billy Graham when you need him? We finished our show with Silent Night as usual, and the audience sat there in the rain and sang with us. It was the only Christmas they had, and they weren't going to miss it. Here's our next target, the attack carrier, the USS Hancock. Doesn't that deck look roomy? Oh, it is in the daytime. But try finding that deck after dark. It's like trying to find Mickey Rooney in a crowded elevator. You can do it, but it ain't easy. This is Christmas Eve, and would you believe it? Nobody went into town. They all turned out for the show. It was our third show of the day, and we were all pooped until we heard this audience. Yes, sir. Here we are aboard the USS Hancock. What is this, John Wayne's canoe? You guys are lucky. Jackie Kennedy doesn't have 1/10 this much, and you didn't have to marry the captain to get it. But I can't believe this belongs to the Navy. How'd Howard Hughes ever let a gambling layout this size get away from him? This is one of our older ships, but considering its age, it can move along pretty good. 18 knots on a gallon of prune juice. We had a nice trip yesterday when we flew from Bangkok to Benoit. Wonderful trip. We lost an engine and my stomach at the same time. You know how they say your whole life flashes before you? I barely had time to take 3 bows before I threw myself around Rosie Greer. You don't have to be an astronaut to know about soft landings, I want to tell you that. Of
course, I never worry because I carry a cross, a St. Christopher medal, and a Star of David. When I go, I'm going to blame everybody. It was one of our longer shows. It had to be with this audience. Here's just a couple of the jokes we did with Rosie Greer. Tell me, Rosie, how do you like the trip so far?
Well, I love it, Bob, and I'd like to thank you for bringing me along.
Don't thank me. It's a lot of fun having you aboard.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the first time we've flown across the Pacific at an altitude of 3 feet.
Listen, Bob, you know, we've been out on this trip for a few days now, and I never see you. Where are you hiding?
Right behind you.
You're scared, huh?
No, my doctor told me to stay in the shade. Who are we kidding, Rosie? I brought you along as my bodyguard.
Who are you kidding? You get an awful lot of guard for that puny body you got.
You miss playing for the Rams?
Oh, you asked me if I miss getting my head crushed?
Yeah.
My teeth ripped out by the roots?
Yeah.
My spine tied up like a Christmas bow?
Yeah.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but I really miss it. When nobody's got their teeth in my leg, I feel unwanted.
He'd make a great paratrooper, wouldn't he? He could just open his shirt and just float.
I guess you played a lot of football, huh?
No, I didn't.
You never played football, Bob?
Nope, never.
You mean those are Mother Nature's own cleat marks?
Christmas morning, the destroyers Decatur and Wedderburn passed in review while the gold diggers filled their stockings. And Christmas morning, we choppered over to the USS New Jersey, the only battleship in the world still on active duty. She's really a camp follower. This is her 3rd war. And how the Marines dig her, sitting offshore, lobbing those 2-ton shells 26 miles inland and dropping them right on target. Christmas dinner we shared with the enlisted men in their mess, and they built a cake for us that could have satisfied Jackie Gleason. And what a room for a show. Makes the Coconut Grove look like a phone booth. What a stage, 30 feet above the audience. Ann Margaret, I want to thank you for making this trip. I want to tell you that.
Oh, you don't have to thank me, Bob, because I happen to love each and every one of these men, and I'd love to go out there and give them all a hug.
That would be silly.
Why?
Well, they have ensigns for that. Just for the record, is Ann Margaret one name or two?
I spell Ann Margaret with a hyphen. Harphin? What is that?
I spell it with an exclamation point. You were born in Sweden, weren't you? Do you find American men a little on the Boy Scout side?
Oh, goodness, no. I think that Sunset Boulevard is farther out than any country. Haven't you ever been to a love-in?
Love-in. My doctor doesn't even let me watch Laugh-In. And I want to tell you, you're a show business phenomenon. You became a star overnight.
Well, I was very fortunate. I did one number on the Academy Awards show, and people were very, very nice to notice me.
Notice you. You shorted every power line between Santa Monica and Kansas City.
You're exaggerating.
I'm not. I was there. I was standing right there. It's the first time my cummerbund was welded to my navel. It's Ann Margaret right here. The New Jersey took us close to shore for our next date. Da Nang, or as we cowards call it, Boomtown. You don't have to put up a sign, hospital. I know where you're from. Thank you. Very happy to be here in Da Nang, the R&R Center for Rockets. This base has been hit quite a few times lately, they tell me. In fact, if you're not carrying a piece of shrapnel, you're a tourist. Look at those cats up there. Hey, you all! Are they on our side? How about that? What a picture that is. Look at them. Hey, they want to surrender over there. Wild. But it's nice to be here with you Marines. I know this is a Marine base. Where else do they play handball with live grenades? Now, I want to tell you, these guys are so tough, the mosquitoes carry meat tenderizers. And you know, the students back home are making great progress. Last year, they were burning their draft cards. This year, it's the schools. So when you muster out, keep your rifle. If you go to school under the GI Bill, you may have to recapture it first. The students want to run the colleges. Can you imagine that? That's like Gomer Pyle running the Pentagon. At San Francisco State, the cops have spent so much time on campus, 8 of them graduated. This year, for the first time in 5 years, we were allowed to visit the Delta country, the Rice Bowl of Vietnam. We played for the Riverines, the River Rats, who were out on constant patrol in the heart of Kong country. Charlie is everywhere, as we found out during the show. Every year, before we leave home, we get stacks of mail from all over the states to GIs at all the bases. So the first letter we have is to Jerry Long, a gunner's mate at Dong Tam. Hey, Jerry, are you there? Jerry? How are you, my boy? I just want to tell you, I understand that you know Sharon A. Self. Is that right?
That's right.
She claims she's your fiancée. Do you know anything about this?
I hope so.
Well, how come you haven't mentioned it to the girls here? No, Sharon says your mail is kind of late. The last mail she had from you was to wish you happy Halloween. She wants you to write a letter right now on television. Go ahead, dictate a letter to Sharon.
Hi, honey.
Huh?
Hi, honey.
Hi, honey, yeah. What else?
Miss you.
Miss you. Love you. We won't listen. Go ahead. Everybody turn your back. Want to say anything else?
No, I believe that's all.
Want to say anything about the countryside? What a beautiful country club you're working in here and all that? Huh?
Where's it at?
You want to seal it with a kiss or anything? Right in the camera? She'll be watching. Go ahead, blow her a kiss. Blow her a kiss. Blow her to the camera, not to me. Blow her to her. Blow it to the camera. I bet he's a heller on the front porch, huh? Well, thank you, Jerry Long. Thank you very much. That's nice. Nice to see you. Sharon will get that, though. I guarantee you. Goodbye, my man. Ooh, we got to screen this section here. Next, we have Lieutenant John Howard. Come on here, John. Yeah! John, how are you? I see. We have a letter from your mother back in Covina, California. And she wants to know a couple of things. Now, are you wearing your rubber galoshes? Are you going out with girls? And remember her talk the night before you left. She says if you have any questions to write home to her with them. And there's one more thing. She wants to send you a kiss. And she doesn't trust you with any of the girls, and she wants me to kiss you. Can you get a Bronze Star for that? No, don't hang around. We're not engaged, you know, that's all. Nice to see you. Right, my boy. During a Shakespeare skit we did with Miss World and a GI from the base, we were interrupted by gunfire from across the river. You remember me, Rosemary's Baby?
Oh, my faithful old nurse.
Yeah. You know, this isn't such a bad part. What the hell is all that firing over there, will you? General, will you call off this stuff, this war, while we're on, please? During the show, they hit a pocket of VC across the river. None of our GIs were injured, but they sent me a neckerchief with a company crest and a note that said, sorry about the noise. Hope we didn't disturb the show. Next stop, Phuket, near the city of Chi Nhon. It's an air base somewhere near the coast of the South China Sea. At Phuket, we had the pleasure of running into a great disc jockey and USO ambassador at large, Johnny Grant. This guy's got more time in Vietnam than Ho Chi Minh and Martha Ray put together. And here he is with 4 of the reasons he's always welcome. Carolyn DeVore, Sherry Alberoni, Monica Peterson, and Brenda Dixon. And now let's retreat to Thailand, where you're safe from everything except the hospitality. These people up at Nakhon Phanom on the Laotian border really go crazy. Look at this. They don't allow newspapermen here. I guess they're sending word out by balloon. All right, hold on to your pom-poms and try to control your cheering. Let me drop a few stars on you. And these are just my street clothes. Is this an outfit? I just want to say we're in beautiful Thailand, ladies and gentlemen, where in October you get the monsoons, and in December you get me. Yes. Here we are at Nakhon Phanom. I had an idea we were going to a strange base when the pilot threw away the map and took out a Ouija board. This base is so secret that they make you land backwards, which is par for our pilot. Now, this base is so far out it hasn't been discovered yet. Rand and McNally got 8 miles from here and decided to turn back before they fell off. This is my 3rd time here in Nakhon Phanom. I can't help myself. I'm hooked on buffalo burgers. But this is a beautiful spot. Just add a little water and you got instant swamp. I talked to your medical officer. It wasn't easy. He was busy sacrificing a goat. And they tell me this is right next to Laos, which is a neutral country. Laugh it up. That's as funny as I'm going to get. They really miss girls here. At rehearsal, I noticed one GI winking at the camera. I asked him why, and he said, when you've been here 10 months, you don't take chances. If it's got legs, you wink. Here we go to another hush-hush base in Thailand, Utapao. No wonder it's hush-hush. No one can pronounce it. This is the headquarters of the Royal Thai Naval Air Force. They have a Piper Cub and 6 kites here. We have 2 B-52 air wings and 50 tankers. Boy, that Piper Cub takes a lot of gas. Thank you very much. Hey! Thank you very much. Hey! Oh, my God. Who are these, Democrats? They got my best side. I've never played a housing project before. Thank you very much. Thrilled to be here at Satahip on the beautiful Gulf of Siam. In Utapao. This base has one of the longest runways in the world. It's the only one with a Howard Johnson. Now, that name is on the level, Satahip. I thought it was named for the way my pants fit. I guess you know what's been going on back home. Nixon captured Washington and Jackie took over Greece. anyway, we got a new president, Mr. Nixon, and I know you remember Nixon, Ike's caddy. We have... You know, that's pretty exciting, though, isn't it? A guy who couldn't make governor of California is going to be president of the country. And California is being shipped to North Vietnam. That was a wrap in the Far East. We climbed into our C-141 Starlifter and headed for our last stop, Guam. For some reason, Guam is one of our best shows. Maybe it's because there's such a great audience. Whatever it is, we always hate to get off the stage. You know, there's so many people connected with this show that never seen. I want Sil, Karen Keeney, and Johnny Pollock to come out here, the guys that go in advance of us right here. Doing a great job backstage and ahead of us with the facility. Then we called our whole gang on stage, all the people from all departments who have volunteered every year to make this trip. There they are, Susan Lund, Dick Albers, Debbie Thomason, Fred Myron, Ray Brannigan, Penny Plummer, Roger Smith, Peggy Hansen, Barney McNulty, Charlie Lee, Linda Bennett, Gig Henry, Leslie Dalton, Colonel Red Beasley, Kathy Brymer, Rosie Greer, Diana Likas, Mike Michello, Joan Moss, Ann Margaret, Betty Lanigan, Ginger Hadfield, Charlie Solomon, Rose Weiss, Kathy Wright, Bill Faith, Marcia Temmer, Debbie McFarland, Joan Slywan, Nancy Bonetti, Fred King, and Sandy Slywan. And, of course, there's Mort Lockman, our director. We owe a lot of thanks to a lot of people. One of them we laid a piece of silver on this year was Colonel Roland Red Beasley from the Pentagon. He's been our project officer and shepherd for the last 5 years. They say it's his last trip. We hope not. If you'll give us the plate back, he's welcome anytime. And then, as we do on every base, we close the show with Linda Bennett leading us in Silent Night.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright.
You have a Happy New Year and see you home. Here we are on the great white whale that's taking us on a long trip back across the Pacific to what our kids refer to as the world. Our 80 pooped-out gypsies are trying to get some sleep, even though it's pretzel style. The dancing feet rest, so do the voices that cracked jokes and sang the songs to our GIs. Our Merry Christmas was knowing we made theirs a little merrier. We couldn't bring them peace on earth, but we got a small leg up on it, goodwill toward men. They've seen a lot in the last 2 weeks. They've looked at 250,000 of our troops and touched down in 7 different countries with 7 different climates. I would like to take a moment for a kind word of thanks to the Department of Defense, my favorite bookers, the USO, and my favorite bus line, the Military Airlift Command. They made it all possible, along with our good sponsor, the Chrysler Corporation, who gave up their share of this hour and a half so we could look at more of our GIs. It's really thoughtful, and I appreciate it. Well, look who's waiting for us. Governor Reagan and his wife, and of course, my First Lady. The band is there and the newsreels, and you try to remember to turn your best side, although after this trip, you don't really have one. Yeah, we're home, but our hearts are still back with those kids we left behind. We'll be thinking about them for a long time. Their faces are etched in our memories. The fighting kids, the wounded kids, the happy kids on their way home. The tough kids and the frightened kids and the sad kids and just kids. These are the ones who have it all at stake, the ones who are going to win it all or lose it all. These are the ones who are going to pay the price if we fail. A lot of them have already paid the price.
What is your name again, man?
Dyer.
Dyer. You have a little pain right now, huh?
Chattanooga,
Or is that just me? Well, it's sure good to see you. And I want to wish you as merry a Christmas as you can have. You understand? Very proud of you.
Hi, my name's Linda Bennett. What is it?
Mark Mace.
Hi, Mark. We're here with the Bob Hope Show. We're going to entertain you. We gave a show today, and we're on our way to Korea tomorrow. Where are you from?
South Dakota.
What's your name?
Jim Venable.
Jim, where are you from?
Astoria, Oregon.
Bob Bressler. Now, where are you from, Bob?
Los Angeles.
I bet you're pretty sore, huh? God, what a drag. Do you have to go back to Vietnam?
No, I'm going back to the world in about 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Where's home?
Virginia.
You look great. Where are you from?
I'm from New York City, Brooklyn. John Finelli.
John Finelli?
Right.
You Paisan?
Better know it.
Boy, it's pretty good looking one, isn't he, huh? How about that? I got to tell Kelowna about you.
Okay.
He'd be proud of you. Got a junior Kelowna coming right in there.
Break it to him easy.
Okay, I will. Where you from?
Tucson, Arizona.
Retake, huh?
Right.
Who's down there? What's your name?
Don Mathis.
Don Mathis?
Right.
Isn't that great? And what's your name, Captain?
Captain Hopkins,
Where are you from?
Iowa.
Iowa.
Right.
What town?
Cedar Rapids.
How's this boy coming along?
Very good. One of our best patients.
One of your best patients? Well, he looks like one of the happiest. What happened to you?
I walked over 60 motor mine.
You did, huh?
Right.
You're not going to go in that direction anymore, are you?
I hope not.
I hope. Well, congratulations to both of you. And have a Merry Christmas, will you? You gals do a wonderful job.
Discussions about our posture in Vietnam go on and on. The rights and wrongs of it are being debated and will continue to be debated for years. But one thing is not debatable, and that is the contribution our men have made in Vietnam. Their courage, their kindness, their humanity, and their sacrifice can never be undone. It's now part of history, and it is in the finest tradition of America. This was our 5th trip. I never dreamed back in 1964 that it would go on this long and take such a terrible toll. But here we are again, and somewhere along the way, the realization hit me that we were trapped in a kind of quicksand, that there was no end in sight, that we were paying too high a price in our greatest natural resource, our youth. You know, we like to think we help these boys' morale, but there's another kind of morale that gives them much comfort. That's religion. No matter where they are, they find time to set up an altar and pray. I say this every year, and regretfully I say it again. We pray that this was the last of our trips to Vietnam, that 1969 will bring to the Vietnamese people an end to 25 years of continuous warfare and a chance to rebuild their shattered country. And most of all, we pray that our men who helped them so courageously, unselfishly, will come home to begin building their own future. Let's face it, they are America's future, and it was our privilege to visit them this Christmas.